Good morning. It is Bank Holiday Monday and the weather is amazing. There is not a cloud in the sky. It is completely blue skies. The weather is gorgeous. There's an aeroplane. There's actually quite a few aeroplanes going over this morning, probably because it's bank holiday. But welcome back to a new vlog. We are back from France. We had such a gorgeous holiday and I've just been taking the last few days to get back into everything, get all of the washing done and get back into work, tick off my to-do list, do lots of catching up. And this weekend has been really lovely. We actually had quite a few things that I just couldn't really vlog. We had a wedding, our really good friends got married, which was so lovely. And we then had a barbecue with all of the neighbours on the lane, which was amazing. Such a good evening last night. So I obviously couldn't really vlog those things, but I'm back and I'm in the garden. We have been quite busy doing lots of bits and bobs. When we arrived home, the vegetable garden had just gone wild. Tomatoes, honestly, I have never seen so many tomatoes in my life. In one bowl we have honestly like 200 tomatoes. We had the biggest courgette I've ever seen. I will show you when we go inside. It's huge and I don't know what to do with it, but I've just been doing some tidying up this weekend. The tomatoes behind me had grown so many ginormous side shoots and they were kind of really dragging down, so you can probably see I've managed to string them all up right to the top, trim the tops off so that all the energy can go to the tomatoes that are currently growing, and they're looking a lot neater. They're looking a little bit sparse because I did take off quite a few side shoots, but I think they look a lot better. And we've still got so many tomatoes coming. We actually popped to the garden centre yesterday to just pick up some bits that Jack needed for the hose and like watering system that he's currently doing. I will show you that in a minute. And I picked up a couple of bedding plants, little mini violas, and they are so beautiful. I had a couple of pots that were just lying around and I said to Jack, I feel like I need to make the most of it and plant some things in them. I had this little rattan basket from Dalesford, a couple of other kind of old pots that were just laying around, so I picked up 2 packs of these beautiful violas. I got all white and then these ones which have a little bit of dark purpley blue inside, and I just love them. They've really elevated all of the tables and just added a little bit of something else. Oh, there's is that a wasp or a bumblebee? Don't know what that is, but it's landing on the flowers. So I thought I would show you how the garden is looking. We have been starting to make a little few changes just where things have kind of harvested and we've got little gaps, and I've just ordered loads of plug plants from a company called Rocket, I think it's called, for autumn, which is very exciting. So we can start to kind of, once all of the summer things start to go, we can replace them with some autumn things. We've got loads more carrots, Cavolo Nero, a couple of different lettuce varieties, we've got swede, lots of things on the way, which is very fun. So the first thing I did yesterday was tend to the courgette because it has been growing just insane, and this section here was completely hanging over the back, and the courgettes were like hanging right down the side of the raised bed. So I managed to bring it a little bit further onto the actual raised bed, so it's got a bit more space. It's a bit easier to harvest them. We've got some little ones starting to sprout out here and quite a few on this bit as well. So courgettes have done very, very well. I just had a tidy up of the leaves and things as well. I actually planted a new thyme as well. I haven't ever had this one before, Archer's Gold, but I love cooking with thyme, especially all of my autumn recipes. I feel like thyme is so delicious. We've got a few carrots left, but eventually, once we have harvested all of these carrots and the radish, this whole section will be carrots, because we go through carrots a lot in autumn winter with roast dinners and casseroles and all things like that. So we're going to have a very big section for carrots. Over here is our ridiculous supply of spinach, and our plan is to actually take out this spinach. I think we just planted way too much, so I'm going to harvest all of this, probably freeze quite a lot of it, and then we will take out this one. And in this space here we have then got a really nice bit of room to grow some autumn lettuce. I think I've ordered a couple of different varieties, but I will show you all of that probably early October when we get to planting. But just kind of putting in a few little things at the moment just to tidy things up and get prepared. But as I was saying, tomatoes have been doing so well, and I've just neatened them up, trimmed a load of side shoots, and they're thriving. The tomatoes have probably been my favourite thing we've grown. Oh, there's just the gift that keeps on giving. I also did a big clean out of the water feature yesterday. I just scrubbed it all and emptied the water and refilled it, so that's looking nice and clean. Okay, and this bed looks very different. So as you can see, we have no more bamboo. The sweet peas are gone, very sad, but definitely enjoyed them. I think if I grow sweet peas next year, I will move the location of them because they just got so battered in the wind and scorched from the hot weather. So we took the sweet peas out. We also harvested all of our parsnips yesterday before we went to the barbecue, and we have just cut those up. I've given them a good wash, cut them up and put them in some freezer bags. So they are all in the freezer ready for roast dinner season. And this space is going to be used for swede, cavolo nero, all of the kind of good autumny veggies that we cook with. So we've got a nice blank canvas here. I probably will plant some more beetroot as well. We've just got 2 remaining. There's a few in the fridge, 2 left. So I probably will do another sow of some beetroot, and then we can have a nice selection of autumn veggies. We've got the Brussels sprouts back there, which are being eaten alive, which is very annoying. And then the rainbow chard, which is just insane. I can't believe how much this is growing. It's ginormous. And our peppers, which are doing really, really well. I think I've shown you these quite recently, but just waiting for these red peppers to turn, but there are so many. Sorry about the noise of the aeroplanes, they're quite loud today. And the final thing is our broccoli and beans. Beans are really sad. They just didn't do very well. I think we have harvested quite a few, but they just keep getting so scorched, and we're watering them so much, and they just are not loving life over here. So next year we will definitely locate the beans to either side of the barn. I think that will be much better. They'll be a little bit more sheltered. Broccolis are doing well. I mean, they are ginormous. I did harvest a load of broccoli when we got back because there was so much, and quite a lot of it had gone to seed, so I did a really good harvest of that. Put some in the compost, tidied it up a little bit. So this is looking pretty good. I just harvested some this morning as well. It's just a never-ending cycle. But yeah, really can't keep the butterflies away, but at this point I think we've just kind of admitted defeat. We know that we should net them next year, and yeah, as you can see, the butterflies, they just want to lay their eggs over here. So quite hard to keep the caterpillars away if you don't have a net over your brassicas. Definitely learnt that the hard way, but we do have a really good treatment for them, which is all natural. So I will probably do another spray of that soon and just keep on top of it. But yes, you can see the eggs here. This is what the eggs look like. Tiny weeny little yellow dots. And then these turn into small teeny caterpillars, which this is literally like the life cycle of a caterpillar. But look, they then turn into this. I don't know if you can see. And then next minute they look like this, and then before you know it, you've got a ginormous caterpillar. So yeah, just trying to keep on top of that really, and next year we will grow literally half the amount of this broccoli. We do not need this much. And the Brussels sprouts and everything like that, all the brassicas, we will grow in one bed and have a good net system over the top, which I think is, yeah, definitely needed. The aeroplanes are so loud today, but I want to show you Jack's leaky pipe system because he has spent kind of the last few weeks working on it and figuring out the logistics of it and putting it all in place so that we can water the entire garden from a timer system, which is so brilliant. Honestly, I think it's the best idea ever, and it's actually quite easy to put in without having to start from scratch. So all of the flower beds have the leaky pipe in situ. So we've got, you can probably see here, a couple of strips. I think there's 3 strips of leaky pipe in this bed, and Jack has managed to embed it into all of the flower beds. Hello, you. And then, as you can see, he's popped in like a travel pipe. So the leaky pipe is here, which is a little bit textured, and the drips of water come through the pipe. and then it connects up to a travel pipe, which is just a thick plastic, and that then travels the water through to the next bed, which then connects to the leaky pipe and waters the next bed. So he's managed to embed it in little parts of the garden really well. So the travel pipe comes under here, under the dogwood, and then that carries around into this bed here, as you can see. So this travel pipe, I think there's a splitter on this. So one section is the leaky pipe, which he's buried underground, so you can probably just about see here, I don't know if you can see on the camera, to water all of the roses, the wedding day rambling roses and the Nepeta. So that is coming all the way along this bed, and then this travel pipe is taking the water all the way along round here under the stones by the bricks here, and then it travels all the way along the back line of this fence down to the hydrangeas over there. So the other section of leaky pipe comes all the way down here past this rose, the Nepeta here, and then it travels underneath the door here. I need to do some weeding, so many weeds, and then comes around this corner into our little corner bed that Nepeta designed with us, which was amazing, and I'm so happy you guys loved that vlog because it was a proper garden vlog. So we've got a few strips of the leaky pipe in here, and then that comes round past the front door into the hydrangeas. So you can see down here, leaky pipe is in here for the hydrangeas at the front, and this climbing rose, which is really thriving. I think this is so beautiful. And today we need to do a little bit of tying up, because the last couple of weeks it's got so long, so we could do with just tying up a couple of these little end tendrils and get these up on the wall nicely. But how beautiful is that? These hydrangeas have gone a gorgeous like appley green colour now, which really feels like new season is coming. And we've got a couple down here that are still nice and white and fluffy. They're so beautiful. Jack's actually just gone round and fed all of the hydrangeas with some feed, so they're looking lovely. But yeah, I love this part of the garden. And then the next part of Jack's leaky pipe project is to do this entire bed all the way around the front and the side. So we've got the hydrangeas here, we've got a rose, actually a couple of roses there, and then we've got some more ground cover roses here, and then obviously all of the roses at the front. So that's the next job. I probably need to come and do some deadheading again. I think I'm deadheading every day at this point, but the roses that we planted this year have absolutely loved their new home. I think they are thriving and they look so beautiful. We're on our second bloom now, which is lovely, and they're just looking gorgeous. So pretty, and it's such a nice little area, I think, and hopefully one day these will grow into almost like a little rose hedge, which will be gorgeous. So yeah, that's Jack's jobs for the day. This is just another little look at my violas that I potted up. So pretty. I really love these. I just think they're such a nice addition. Super inexpensive just for a tray of bedding plants. I think there was like $4.99 or something like that, just to add a little bit of something. And the geraniums that we planted, I just added a couple of violas into the side because this rattan basket looked a little bit sparse at the bottom. But the geraniums have been doing so well. I definitely think that is going to be my summer flower of choice in all my pots, especially the ones down here. They have really been thriving. I'm just deadheading them, taking off any leaves that are a little bit crispy, probably just from watering them, and the sun then makes the leaves a little bit crunchy. But they're gorgeous. They've been doing really well, both that one and this one here as well. I'm really happy with them. I think it was a good choice, and I love a fluffy white flower. Right, I am just going to make some cookies. We are heading to the farm this afternoon for a little Bank Holiday Monday barbecue in the field, and I want to bring a couple of things with me. I think I'm going to do a really nice salad and also cookies, because I feel like it's just an easy dessert that we can bring up into the field. So I'm going to use my recipe from my recipe guide, which is for blueberry cookies. So I'm going to make a batch of those. I was unsure if I had enough butter, but I think I should have enough here. So I will leave a link to my recipe guide down below. I created a recipe guide back in spring, I think it was, and it's just a link that you can click and open. It's free. I haven't put like a paywall on it or anything. So I've got spring recipes in there, summer recipes, and I'm currently working on my autumn winter recipes as well. So I will update that in the next few months. And it's basically just all the things I love making, and so many times I take a recipe from like BBC Good Food or one of my recipe books, and I end up changing bits because I don't have it in the fridge, or we don't like the ingredient, or whatever. I like experimenting with things, so I've kind of just created my own versions of a few different things and popped them in the guide so that you can see them. So anyway, let's get baking. I've got a very teeny weeny egg. These are from one of the neighbours near the farm. Gifted us some little eggs, so that's going in. And then I just need some vanilla extract. Whenever I'm doing any baking, I literally just use my food processor. It's the best, I love it. I got this for my birthday from my mum, and I literally use this for everything. It is the best. I make all my pestos in here, sauces, baking, my smoothies. I love it. It's so good. Also, you may notice behind me looks a little bit different. We have actually got rid of Basil's baby bed. His little cage has gone. He just did not sleep in it ever, and to be honest, we were using it as like a side table rather than him actually sleeping in it. Jack bought him the brown little sofa armchair bed, which he loves, and that is where he sleeps. So we decided to get rid of the crate and pop that in the barn. And it's feeling very empty in here. I also just put this photo frame up over the TV bracket because we'd taken the TV down and put it in the barn. So yeah, this corner is looking a little bit empty. That plug socket is actually for the leaky pipe system, so it kind of has to stay there, but I'm thinking I can just cover it up with some sort of plinth and like a pot or something in the corner, and then hopefully we'll be able to find some sort of dresser, side table, something where Basil's bed can be built in underneath would be amazing. So whether Jack builds it or if we find one on Facebook Marketplace, we shall see. But yeah, it's looking very different behind me. Oh, I've got just enough butter, a little bit under, but I think that will be fine. So I'm just starting with butter and sugar in the food processor and just mix that through until it gets nice and fluffy. So you need 150 grams of sugar. You can do it however you want. If you just want to use caster sugar, if you want a half and half with dark brown. I like kind of an 80-20 with dark brown because I just think it adds such a good flavour. Whisk that up for a little bit, and then I'm gonna crack in the egg. Then I'm just gonna pour in a little bit of vanilla extract, give that another mix. And then we're going for the dry ingredients. So we've got plain flour, a pinch of salt, and baking soda. Okay, and then that's going to start making the cookie dough, and this is the time when you can add in your extras. So chocolate chips, white chocolate, nuts, blueberries, raspberries, whatever you fancy. I'm going for blueberries. You obviously don't need a food processor or a mixer or anything. You can just do this by hand, but I just love using my food processor. So you're going to need a baking tray, quite a big one, with some baking paper. I'm just going to use these reusable baking paper sheets. And then you want to scoop about a tablespoon size of cookie dough and roll that into a ball. I'm just going to bake half of this recipe and then put the other half in the freezer. So I've just rolled a big ball of the leftover cookie dough, like this, and I'm going to pop that in some cling film, and that can go in the freezer. When it's in the cling film, I just roll it out into a little roll, because then when I want to bake some cookies, I can just cut little sections and I've got the perfect amount. And then I just bake them for about 10-12 minutes at 160 degrees fan oven. My purple blueberry cookies. You could probably do these with blackberries as well, seeing as that's very on the season. Okay, cookies are nearly done and I'm just about to start making my salad. So I'm gonna do some grilled peaches in the griddle pan just to get some really nice color on them. And then we're gonna do burrata, tomatoes, and to be honest, I'm gonna put it together and then see what else I can add. I might add a little bit of rainbow chard in there, which I'll see. Some herbs, some basil, really nice fresh ingredients. My cookies are done. I've just been leaving them to cool on a wire rack, so they are all nice and cool now. And I got these little brown paper bags to gift vegetables, tomatoes, herbs, loads of things to friends and family. And I've just written Lauren's blueberry cookies on the front, and I'm gonna pop them in here. They're the perfect size. I just got them at the supermarket. So I'm gonna bring these with us. And then lastly is my salad. So we've got some Swiss chard, a little bit of very young spinach, basil, tomatoes, my grilled peaches, and then the burrata. I'm going to open this once we are there, because I'll probably put this in the fridge for a little bit at the farm. And we just need to pop to the supermarket to pick up some more drinks and some charcoal for the barbecue, because Ben has a very old charcoal barbecue which is so good. It's so much fun. I'm so excited for this afternoon. So I will add the parma ham kind of like around the burrata. I'm just about to wrap this up to get it ready to travel, even though it's like 5 minutes down the road. I've also just quickly got changed and put on this little Suzanne shift dress. I love this so much, it's so cute. And obviously I've got my Hicks and Brown hat, which has been my accessory of the summer. I've got my hair up right now, but I will take my hair down when I put my hat on.